Hi, I am seeing threes. I'm seeing lots of threes. I don't know why I'm starting with that, but right when I was about to express my confusion about why I was starting that video like I did, I saw 3 on the timer, and I was combing through the bottom of this deck, and we have the Knight of Swords, the 3 of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Temperance, and then the 3 of Pentacles, or coins. Temperance. My energy shifted when I switched from Virgo to doing Pisces reading. I felt a little bit more serious. I wouldn't say worried, but I went from feeling excited, ready for things to come in, a little bit airy, you know, up in the wind a little bit, whereas now I'm feeling, like I said, more serious. I think that's really just the word for how it is, because I can't say that I'm experiencing many other feelings other than a sense of seriousness, and a little bit of a difficulty connecting to the cards. But I still feel called to do the reading, so we're going to see how it turns out. I don't know if that has to do with a decision that you have to make, because the Knight of Swords speaks to taking action, clear, decisive action on something. The 3 of Wands has to do with, I think, the cards. What is standing out to me? That's what I'm struggling with, is seeing what's standing out to me, or how it's standing out to me. And I just opened up and looked at 3 of Swords, disruptive forces. Incompatibility, heartache, distance, absence, alienation, unrest, confusion. I think that's kind of fitting for how I'm kind of feeling right now about this reading. Anyway, let's go to 3 of Wands. Strength in numbers, business cooperation and success. Busy times, being on the go, established strength, troubles ending. Making decisive action about something that you're working on with somebody, a goal, and the decision is yours to move forward with something. Needing to find balance. Wow, I think I need to, and then the 3 of Coins. I need to start pulling cards because I'm very mastery, skill, accomplishment, good reputation in work and business, expertise built on experience, craftsmanship, high status. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with Oracle and see how things kind of come together. I'm wondering if Pisces might be feeling pulled in a lot of directions. Wonder if that's why there's this sense of confusion that I'm feeling with the reading, and seriousness, something that needs to be faced, perhaps. Okay, let's go ahead. Commitments at the bottom of the deck. after I pre-shuffled all of this. Sorry, I got really caught up in all of that, so. Is there anything for Pisces? Sanctuary? What's going on? Okay. I got Sanctuary in a different deck for Virgo. Going inward, contemplating, surrounding yourself with that which is comfortable to you so you can feel safe enough to reach your inner self, is how I see this card. Strength renewed. Going into that place is going to help you find the energy to do what it is that you need to do. Got Raven's Wand. Raven's Wand speaks of the power that you have and how you use it and what it creates for your life. Almost like that saying where what you focus on is what amplifies in your life. How things that manifest in your life have more to do with what you decide to put your energy and your focus onto. Piercing the mist. Interesting. I'm kind of reading how these came out backwards. This person is mourning her cat. And what she doesn't know is the cat's right there, right behind her. Piercing the mist. Piercing through the fog and unclarity is the word I want to use, through reconnecting with yourself. If we move and make decisions based off of our past hurts or the things that we're still grieving, we will only create more of that in our lives. You're being called to go within, so that way you can find the strength and the clarity to make a decision you're being called to make. This reading feels so much heavier than Virgo's does. It did. And I didn't post for 2 days because I got sick and I needed to find rest and clarity on some of the things that I'm facing, which my stuff doesn't really feel like this. I don't think that I resonate that much with Pisces. I think I resonated more with Virgo's reading. Which might be why I'm having a harder time connecting to it. I'm connecting to it, but it's not coming through as energetic and clear. Sometimes we have difficult cycles to break in our lives. Sometimes we have certain thought patterns and beliefs and behaviors that guide us through our lives, but they tend to be echoes of the past pain that we've experienced. And I feel like you're being called to take a look at that. This person looks very solemn. Everything about this feels very solemn. Or the fox, not necessarily a person, whatever you want to call it. What's at the bottom of the deck? Strength renewed. And then there's inspiration at the bottom of the deck. So, working through these very difficult things is going to help you, and I feel like I'm repeating myself again, is going to help you work through the mist, the fog, so that way you can reconnect to the power and the strength that is needed in order to act on this inspiration that wants to come in for you. But sometimes we can't reach that inspiration unless we go within, unless we reconnect with ourselves. Commitments. Being impeccable in your word. Doing what you say you're going to do. Whether that's something for yourself or the responsibilities that surround you. Interesting. Back to the King of Swords, which showed itself to me a couple of times while I was shuffling this deck. You oversee a decision about something in your life. You're the top person. You make the decision and you inform everybody afterward, after you've made your decision. Okay, let's see what this Oracle deck has to say. This reading's going to be longer, I have a feeling. Faith. Are you struggling with, you're struggling with finding faith, with following the guidance, embracing your life. There's a lot of responsibility sitting on your shoulders. There's a lot of things that you have committed to. Are some of these commitments going to change if you make this decision? Yeah. Following this inspiration might mean that you might have to walk away from certain responsibilities with integrity, but it's really hard for you to do. But at the end of the day, it is your decision what you are and are not committed to. But there's something that you're longing for. Oh, God. And this thing that you're longing for, it doesn't come around every day. What is this? Ah, no wonder you're solemn. A great decision to be made, but there are things that you've committed to that would and making this decision would require you to no longer be upholding these commitments. But it may not be aligned for you to be still carrying these commitments. Oh, and I'm feeling drawn. Wow. I'm feeling really drawn to this flaming hot sword, because there's a lot of swords within this reading anyway, from what I saw from the tarot. There's something that you're gonna have to cut out, and it's terrifying. Wow. I want to say I'm sorry, but you know what's important to you. Sometimes certain things are made for periods of our lives, for growth. And it's all a gift, but sometimes it's not always meant to be held on to forever. You know? Things sometimes are made for a season, not a lifetime. And maybe that season of time is over now, but it's really, really hard to do what is necessary in order to step into the next season of your life. And that could very well be a choice that you're facing right now. Oh my goodness, this is really coming in. But this message is coming in with so much love and care. Like, I can feel the solemnness that you're sitting with, but I can also feel like it's coming in with a great gentleness. Nothing but love and care with this message, because I think that you're somebody who, it's really important for you to do what you said you're going to do, to show up how you said you were going to show up, and there is nothing but respect from me for that. But there is a way to realign with what is meant for you with integrity. But that's for you to decide how to move forward with. What this makes me think of is, you know how sometimes we can start seeing, you know how, Maisie, you know how sometimes we can start seeing somebody and it feels like the thing, the person, or maybe even a job. It feels like the thing, the job. It's right in that moment, but then sometimes it gets to the point where it's not really right anymore. That it doesn't really fit, and then it's becoming more of a blockage than it is something that helps you flow through your life, to stay in alignment with what is right for you and what isn't right for you. And that's where things become unhealthy, is because we have a hard time accepting that this thing might have been just for a season, and then we hold on to it, but because it becomes so far out of alignment, it becomes unhealthy and it does damage. And sometimes the most loving and caring thing that you can do for something that is gotten to a point where it's out of alignment, but you still care for it, it still means something to you, it was important to you, is to approach it with honesty and be like, I really care for this, but this isn't aligned for me anymore. This isn't something that feels like is part of my next steps. And being grateful for the experience that it's given you, what it's taught you, what it meant to you. And maybe moving on from it, but keeping that in a place of love. If we wait too long to speak our truth on something, that's when we burn bridges. You know, that's when we burn the whole fucking house down with everybody in it, because it becomes so far out of alignment, but we're too afraid to let go of it that things end up just snapping and collapsing. And no one likes that. No one likes being in that place, because at one point it meant something. At one point it was right. At one point it gave you everything that you needed. It made you feel whole. It fulfilled you. But we grow out of things sometimes, and that's okay. Someone that truly cares about you, or a work environment that truly cares about you as a person, or any kind of environment that truly cares about you as a person is going to hear what you have to say when you speak your truth about this not being the thing for you anymore. And they're going to support you in your steps toward reaching that alignment. Because someone who truly cares about you cares about your happiness. And if it is someone that fights you on it, it makes you feel bad for moving toward what makes you happy, is something that has served its purpose, which sounds a little bit harsh and cold, but has a little bit of unhealthy attachment to it as well. You know, and if something like that happens after you do speak your truth, it's just because this thing or person is also having a hard time loosening its grips and allowing what is aligned for it to come into its life, or this person's life, or however that resonates. So all it is fueled by fear, and a fear of loss, ultimately, or needs not being met later on. And that's truly the only thing that fuels holding on to something too long, past its expiration date, past its alignment. Holy mac and cheese. That felt good. All right, let's see what the tarot has to say. What does Pisces need to know? 10 of Cups. Making this move, speaking your truth, cutting through to the truth of the matter, making the decision that you need to make that is aligned for you, going towards what is meant for you, is going to bring in your 10 of Cups, but I see that you're dealing with 8 of Swords. You are mentally keeping yourself trapped in something. You're not actually trapped. There are ways to get out, but like I said, fear of loss, fear of how to move forward with something and let something else go because there may be confrontation, is keeping you trapped. And it's your choice whether you move through something like this or not, but I see it's certainly something that you're being faced with right now. And I feel like it's not going to go away. If you're feeling called towards something else, you can stay comfortable all you want to, but it's going to get louder, and then that's where things begin to fall violently out of alignment. Violently meaning things becoming incredibly toxic to the point where you're hurting yourself, the other person or thing is hurting themselves, you're hurting each other, all to make a point and all to be understood, trying too hard to make something work that isn't meant to work anymore. Finding balance. We've got Temperance here. Oh. Ooh. 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 Is this going to get to the point where it ends violently anyway? Oh, shit, Batman. Well, maybe it's because you are dealing with somebody who isn't letting you go. I don't know. And you don't want to hurt them. Is there some emotional manipulation going on here? Because we've got, oh, the Four of Coins and the Tower reversed. The Four of Pentacles usually has to do with not wanting to let go. And that's how it's coming through, because I That's the whole feeling of everything that's going on here. And then like some crazy catastrophe. And then strength reversed. Oh, that's wild. That's why you're feeling solemn. So this could be already happening. Things falling violently out of alignment. Things crashing because something has been held on too long. And I'm very sorry. Either that or it's something that could happen. It's either already happening or it's something that could happen, depending on how you choose to go about honoring yourself and what is made for you. Because we have the Ace of Swords and the Six of Wands here. And that fell on top of Temperance, finding balance and moderation, finding success through clarity, truth. Holy shit, Batman. But we're also I am receiving divine inspiration right now. So you could be receiving like hints of clarity, downloads, inspiration towards what is right for you, what you should be doing right now in this very moment. Yeah, I'm seeing this two different ways right now. This could either be falling violently out of alignment right now, or it's something that you are being faced with, like something that could be coming in. I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself. Three of Wands. Three of Wands actually has more to do with going on an adventure, moving forward, on the go. Knight of Swords, King of Swords, all at the bottom again. Ten of Wands, feeling burdened. Cups. Oh, man. Wow, yeah. I want to look at what the book says about Four of Coins and the Tower and Strength reversed real quick to see if that helps me clean up. The comfort zone trap. Creating the Tower. Oh, man. This couldn't be more in alignment. Plans ruined. Need to start again. Disruption, expulsion from an earthly paradise, divine wrath, punishment of pride, losses. Strength reversed. Abuse of power, violence. Power, force. Oh. Yeah, either something's going to be happening that forces this thing that is no longer in alignment to crumble, or you could be dealing with somebody not wanting to let go and forcing things to stay the same. Damn. Well, I don't really feel like there's anything more for me to say about this. I feel like I've given the advice that I felt called to give, and it's your decision to do something with it. And you don't have to, but I think it's going to become more and more uncomfortable because you are feeling called somewhere else. But moving through this, honoring yourself, moving with integrity through the situation, refining your commitments around what is aligned for you and what isn't, is going to bring in your 10 of Cups, your happiness, emotional satisfaction, fulfillment. And if you don't, it's going to get more uncomfortable. So I know it's your choice, but I mean, it still is your choice. You can choose this, all of that uncomfortable, difficultness, or peace, love, what you want, fulfillment, and finding balance and clarity is going to bring you that sort of success. Becoming untrapped from all that is keeping you stuck, all of the fear that is keeping you stuck. All right, we're going to leave that here, Pisces. I am wishing you the best. I hope that you can get to a place where you can make moves that are aligned for you. I know how hard it is to deal with the fear of possibly letting someone down. I know, I get it. Mine has more to do with my work life, personally, where this could have to do with relationships or work life, many different situations. But for me, I would say this resonates in more of a work form for me. Like myself, I don't work well in a 9-to-5, and I'm trying to create my tarot business. When I am working at a 9-to-5, I'm expected to conform to a schedule, and I kind of work in spurts. I understand the importance of creating stability for myself and paying my bills. I understand that all too well, and I'm good at it. I know how to do it. But then also trying to juggle meeting someone else's expectations around how I should be moving through life, and being afraid to disappoint them or to move in a way that's different or something in a way that they don't understand, is very, very hard to navigate. But I am currently formulating a plan to be like, hey, I would like to do this part-time. I'd like to be here as I'm needed. Because at my current job, it has its busy moments and it has its very, very slow moments where it's kind of like hunting and picking around for something to do. There are things to do, but it just requires an excessive amount of energy to try and find something to do sometimes. And I would much rather, by the time it gets to that point, I'm already thinking about how I could be at home making tarot videos, trying to grow my business, or I could be helping my dad with something and making extra cash that way. Like, I think that I want more of a choice of how I spend my energy and keep my life afloat. Because I'm not afraid of work. I'm just not. I meant to build something for myself. I feel like I was put here to help people, to create something. And I know that I can't just dive into that until it's gained some ground. I know that I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities to maintain. But if I stay working in this place or giving all of my energy or effort to this place where it feels like it's just kind of going down the drain, because it's so far out of alignment, it's going to become something that I just impulsively drop, and I don't want to do that. So I have to make a move. I have to make a decision. I have to sit down and have a hard conversation with somebody I don't want to let down. But for me, a regular 9-to-5 job that I am making money at to sustain my life right now is more of a crutch to help me move toward the thing that I actually want to do. And I know that probably sounds really crummy, but the only reason that I am working a normal 9 to 5 is because I know it takes money to make the world go round. Which probably sounds really, really crummy, but that's how it is for me. I was meant to do something where I help people, I know that. But like I said, moving away from those expectations, those kinds of boundaries that people stay stuck within each day in order to move toward more of a state of autonomy in what is meant for me is just, it's something I've struggled with my whole life. I don't want to let people down. I don't want people to think that I'm just this piece of doo-doo who doesn't know how to commit to anything. I know how to commit to things, it's just committing to what is meant for me. Because when I commit to something that isn't meant for me, I feel like I'm just running around in circles and dumping all of this energy, all of this pentacle energy down the drain for something that isn't giving back to me. And I don't know, I hope that fits for you in some way, shape, or form. I think that can fit for a lot of different scenarios, whether that be a committed relationship, a job, or some other kind of thing. The only things that it really makes sense for me is like a relationship or a job. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to close this out here. Feel free to reach out in the comments if you want to talk about it, if you feel like you're open enough to talk about it. You don't have to, obviously, but I'm not just here to deliver a tarot reading. I want to help, you know? If I can give somebody strength or clarity, it would mean everything to me. So, all right. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Take care. Thank you for being here as well.